What's going on, guys? Welcome to Hunter's Roundtable podcast. Joined with me today, I've got the lovely Gehan. Gehan, say hello to everybody.
What's up, everyone? Nice to see you virtually, kind of.
And as usual, I'll be your host for today, Shadowmains. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into this. I guess the first thing I kind of want to cover, Gehan, is you are still currently a community manager over at Ubisoft, correct?
Correct.
And you're still doing the community. I think your Twitter here says it's for both Steep and Brawlhalla.
That is correct.
Did they put you on any other exciting projects? Hey, come on, give us some details. Let's hear all about it.
Yes, they have. That's all I can say for now. But by the time this comes out, this video, you'll know exactly what it is. So,
okay.
We'll see you guys soon.
Okay, that sounds awesome. I can't wait. I know Ubisoft's been putting out some bangers, so I'm really excited to see like where that's gonna go and what we're gonna end up doing and stuff like that. So I'm excited. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
The little Twitter hints you drop sometimes too are perfect. They're really good.
Got a surprise for you. The last one I said was I got a surprise for you guys on September 10th, which is looking forward to. Definitely got a surprise for you then. Couple of surprises. Yeah, you're gonna enjoy it.
Yep, can't wait to see it. So make sure you guys check that out. Because you'll make Gehan very sad, and we don't want to make Gehan sad. No sad boy Gehan.
No.
So how did you what's the process to go about to become a community manager? Was this like something that you've always wanted to do, or was it just kind of like an opportunity that fell into your lap and you just kind of rolled with it?
Kind of a bit of both. So I've always loved video games. Always loved them. Like I've been playing since I was like 5 or 6, having my first Mega Drive or Genesis. I got really competitive in video games. Like I took part in a lot of Tekken and Soul Calibur tournaments. So I played at a very high level, and I used to run events like tournaments and such. So video games have always been a part of my life. I tried to play professionally, like Tekken 5 and Soul Calibur 2, back in 2005, but I wasn't quite the level where I could like consistently make a living out of it, and esports and sponsorship wasn't such a big thing back then. So I thought, right, I've got to be responsible, get a real job, be a real boy, and I worked in a lot of accounting-based stuff. But I moved to Newcastle from London for my girlfriend at the time. I got a job at Apple. Doing tech support, because always pretty geeky by nature, and I understood how to fix computers and stuff. And then an opportunity at Ubisoft arose on the customer support side. So I'd answer emails, phone calls, chats, trying to help people. And then eventually moved over to the community side, because it was a case of like, it's nice being able to help and interact with people on a one-to-one basis. But the community side let me interact with lots of people all at once, and try and be the bridge between players and the company.
Okay. That sounds awesome, actually. That's yeah. I always wondered. It's like community managers. It's like you're a very interesting breed, because you guys put yourselves on the front line
Yes.
from all that vitriol that you guys can definitely end up receiving, especially if a game does something that a lot of people don't like, right? So it's always very interesting.
And that's the thing, I'm always available if anyone wants to have a chat or find out more, but there's always stuff you can learn from, learn to do better. Like one of the people that I always look to learn from and emulate and be more like is actually Socks, Monster Hunter World Manager, because he's a benchmark. He's like, what is Socks doing? Am I at that? That's fine. Am I here? No, I got to get at least here, maybe here, that sort of thing. So I think that's the case for a lot of community managers. They look at others and see like what they're doing well, what they can learn from them. Maybe even pass on tips like what we're doing that's good, that might help them, that sort of stuff. So,
Right.
It's one of those weird things where people think, oh, your rival companies, you're going to be enemies, but no, it's not like that.
That's actually something that I learned because I went to college for computer science. And during that, I was like, okay, well, I want to come out of this and I want to be a games programmer. And one of the things that I was learning is like, yeah, they don't hate each other. It's like everybody's friends. It's like you go to events and people are excited to go to events because they get to meet up with other people that they don't get to see regularly. So it's like that's really cool. That's actually
Yeah.
really cool. But it also makes the industry really hard to get into.
It can do, but the best way to get into the industry is, I personally believe, because I'm going to just put myself out there and say
Okay.
I'm not very smart. You know, I'm not very technical minded in the sense of like coding and programming and stuff. But what I can provide is a voice. You know, someone relatable, someone who can speak to the players and be the other end of the gaming industry, not the creation, but the post-launch sort of stuff.
Right,
So
right.
if you can get in, even if it's like doing something like data entry or customer support, take it, because it's an opportunity to get your foot in the door, and then avenues open up based on how badly you want things, how much you put yourself out there, how hard you're willing to work. So
Mhm.
um, and also like speak to people. Like community managers are always available to speak to. Twitch streamers are great people to speak to because they usually have contacts and understand like best ways to get into the industry because they've got a different route themselves and they've got contacts as well. So just be a good person in a community, whether it's on forums, on Reddit, or even in like Twitch streams. That sort of thing
Mhm.
gets noticed even by community managers. Like it's not just the Twitch streamers we watch. We do watch the chat and like who's a valued member of that community who helps out.
Mhm. That's actually good to know. That's actually good to know right there. I wasn't aware that like that was all involved in some aspect or another. Uh,
Mhm.
so here's my nod. I'm trying to get a job. Yeah, Capcom Japan. Let me go. Let me go. All right. Oh, let's see. Where do we want to go from here? So we got a little bit about like a little bit of background about like your community manager aspect. But tell us about your Monster Hunter background.
So, Monster Hunter background. The first Monster Hunter game I played was the one on PSP. What was it Freedom Unite? I want to say it was called.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but literally it was a case of like I was. I remember at the time I just wanted a new game to play on my PSP. That was out, and I was like, all right, I'll try it out. I didn't understand a single thing about it, what I was doing. And I stopped after making like some bone armor out of like the 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 things that don't attack you out there. So I didn't actually make any sort of real gear or weapons and stuff. But then I started seeing like trailers and stuff at E3 for Monster Hunter World, and I was
Mhm.
just like, okay, this looks a little bit more fun. This could be interesting, but Monster Hunter was never my jam. I didn't really uh, get much into it. I didn't get the big thing about it. But I remember the exact moment I was like, okay, I'm all in on this game. I really want to get into it. And I was watching Maximilian's video. He was doing the beta with like the Yo video games. And there was this moment where they were doing the Rathian hunt in the ancient forest, and you saw like the dam break at the top, and they're all jumping straight down, following it, and you just hear Matt go, "Oh, this is the greatest thing ever!" And it was just so hype, and I was like, "Oh my god, this actually is hype. I need to get in on it." So
Gotta play
that's
this at this point.
exactly that's when I picked it up, played the demo, and then I didn't really play much because at the time at work we were very busy with a few different things going on, but. I was like, okay, I'm just going to pick up the full game, just see how it goes.
Mhm, mhm. Well, I'm glad you did because I guess you're having a ton of fun with it. You wouldn't be here
Oh
today,
yeah,
I guess, if you didn't really do it.
oh yeah. I mean,
uh,
I've put so many hours into that game. Like, it's my second most played game on PlayStation, according to like the
oh wow,
2009 most stats thing that PlayStation put out. Yeah,
right.
that's my second most played game.
What would you? How many hours would you say you've put into it so far?
Um, it's not as much as most people, but I think I've put in about 180 hours, maybe.
Okay, okay, that's not too
So
bad. You're a
It's a
busy
fair
man. That's not
amount.
too bad. Yeah, for someone for someone who's got to manage communities for a few different games for one of the biggest
Yeah.
gaming companies in the world right now. I mean, that's completely fine right there. Uh what would you say? Okay, so you've got about 200 hours in the game. You really started getting into it with Monster Hunter World. What would
Mm.
you say would probably be like one of your favorite aspects of World and Iceborne?
So it's a various sort of things. Like for me, I'm predominantly a solo player who
Mhm.
jumps into SOSs. So it's a case of I like the whole. I initially played it for the story, get through that, but then I really got into the whole sort of building up my armor and my weapon set to suit my sort of play style. So it was a gameplay loop of hunt, upgrade, hunt, upgrade, hunt, upgrade. So
Mhm.
until I reached the point where I'm like, I really like this, so I could do other hunts and upgrade other hunts up, that sort of thing. So it is literally the gameplay loop that really sucked me in. It was just, it seems boring and repetitive, but for me, it was like, I love it, especially the whole stat maxing, min maxing sort of bits and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
It's why I like games with like stats and loot sort of base sort of stuff and creation
Mhm.
and things. So once I delved into it, I was like, okay,
I
I'm
I could definitely I could definitely agree with that. I think one of the biggest things is definitely that I really do enjoy that gameplay loop right there. But I also really like the mastery that comes with trying to learn the different monsters and then committing that to memory. So when you go back in and fight it, it's like, ah, well, this is about to happen, or it's about to do this. That's
yeah.
one thing that I've actually been doing a lot. When I'm like in the Twitch streams and I'm playing it live and stuff like that, I'm like, guys, watch out! It's about to like shoot the fireball out, or it's about to hit you with a
Mhm.
tail swipe or something like that. Um,
You feel
so
good when you pull it right.
yeah, you feel really good, and then you get that you get that right timing down on the ability to dodge, and it's just like, oh, it comes together so well. It's
Yeah,
such a
I mean, like,
satisfying combat system.
yeah, like for me, I'm one of those weeb longsword players, and just getting the foresight slash down is just like, wow, oh, it feels so good, so good.
The weeb longswords for the win. Yo, the longswords keep tripping
I'm
me
not
though.
even gonna pretend. I'm not even
Not even
ashamed of it.
gonna
I'm full blown
pretend.
weeb. I even I layer armor my outfit to look even more weeby. That's how full blown weeb I am right now.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the game is very much like I would honestly say Monster Hunter is probably one of the most non-anime games that I think I've ever played.
Yes, they found that right balance in the world that it keeps the that Japanese feel to it, but makes it appealing to Western audiences. So they have
Mhm,
the best of
mhm.
both worlds there. So fantastic job from the Capcom crew on that.
Yeah, no, that is 100% a job well done. And I don't know. I know a lot of older players were very upset with that aesthetic, but I really think that that aesthetic was a very good like it made the rest of the game feel better because it just kind of all fit together really nicely. So
Mm.
I don't know. I'm interested to see like how that's going to change up in the whatever portable game or whatever Monster Hunter 6 is going to be, right? So I'm interested to see if
Hmm.
they're going to make it like more bright and colorful or keep it that more gritty, realistic aesthetic.
Everyone's gonna be a bean, like Among Us and Fall Guys. It's just beans, bean
Everyone's gonna be
dragons.
everyone's gonna come around just stabbing each other in the back. Meanwhile, the
Yeah,
monsters over here like, bro, hunt me. And we're just like,
yeah.
well, you see, this guy was the one who killed you. You have to believe me. I was hunting the Rathalos.
There you go. There we go. We've already called it.
Capcom, we'll take that money now for the idea. Give us that cash. We'll take it.
Monster Hunter Among Us. You know that's
Monster
money in the
Hunter
making.
Among Us. The
I
what is
thought
it?
he was the Dodo Gama. That's why I stabbed him.
Yo, a monster mystery game where it was like, ah, who's the monster? It would be pretty fun.
There we go.
It'd be like Evolve, but not as everywhere, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would definitely be like Evolve. You would just have like one person, except instead of hunting that person and them hunting you, it's just like, well, who is it?
Exactly.
uh, so I guess on that topic, 2 years. The game's been out for 2 years now. They're releasing the final update, which is Fatalis, coming on October 3rd. Uh,
Mhm.
no, October 1st. Sorry. Like, what do you feel is coming after this? Like, I've been seeing reports on like a Switch title coming next year. I know a lot of people want the next big thing. I know a lot of people are still confused on whether or not they're going to continue updates after this point. So, like, in your opinion, like, where do you see this going from here on out?
So I think at least for a year there'll be not so much balance updates, but maybe like quality of life, emergency updates for bugs that might happen on Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Maybe they'll keep the events running like seasonally as it happens. I reckon. In the meantime, I wouldn't be surprised if they're already in development of something. What I personally would like is maybe this time next year they announce the next iteration of the franchise on next gen, or what will be current gen then. So your PS5, Xbox One X. In the meantime, between now and then, maybe like a side story slash game sort of thing. So something like Monster Hunter World Stories, released on Switch. What I really, really want, and I've said this many times, and I don't know if it'll ever happen, is I want a Cooking Mama style game based on the cat chefs and the grandma cat chef. That'll be incredible. That'll
I
be that is my dream.
I think I recall there being a game similar to that, but I don't think it was like in the style of Cooking Mama. Like, I can imagine them easily doing like an Overcooked style game too,
Yeah,
with just a bunch of
exactly.
like Palicos and Grimalkin and stuff. That would actually be really funny.
Another game that I think would be fun is have you ever played Battle Chef Brigade?
I have heard of it. I have not played it.
So, Battle Chef Brigade, the best way I can describe it is if Monster Hunter met Master Chef
Okay.
with Tetris. So essentially, you hunt monsters to make a meal to please a panel of chefs. They rate your food against other chefs, and you cook the food by dropping the food down, sort of Tetris style. Um,
Okay.
Basically, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So, something like where they take the whole monster hunting concept and flip it on itself. So it's not just
Right.
about
Right.
hunting to get armor and protect the land, but it's like we just want to hunt it to put it in our zoo or something. Theme Monster Hunter World.
I that could be kind of
Monster.
fun. I could definitely see something like that being like super popular in the Switch, like very
Mhm.
easily being super popular in the Switch. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun. I might actually end up playing something like that if they make it.
Yeah,
Capcom, you're
it's
getting all of these free ideas. Come on.
yeah. I think they've already got everything set in stone on like their roadmap. It's probably been in development for like since Iceborne was first released, because it's a
Oh
case
yeah,
like they
yeah,
know, yeah, look, we're releasing this, it's going to be out for a year, we got like this past that, but we need something to tide over while we develop the next big thing. So
yeah.
there's a lot of stuff.
So it's definitely what they got the two teams. They got the main team who handles like the main games, and then they've got the side team who I think focuses a lot on the portable games. So I definitely feel that Tokyo Game Show this year is going to show off quite a bit. I
Yeah,
think
it's normally
Capcom's slots like maybe an hour, so I think that's going to be like a jam-packed hour of just stuff that they're going to end up dropping and talking about.
see with Capcom the stuff that I want, or what I think they're going to show is something about Street Fighter Five, because they're not going to show Street Fighter Six. Um, Something Resi probably. And what I want is like something Phoenix Wright related. I want
Okay.
I want another Monster Hunter thing, but I want something just fun, light, not like maybe not so much the main series, but something that
Mhm.
will tide me over till the next
Right,
TGS
right,
where they're
right.
like, here it comes, this is our big boy.
So, do you think that they would announce the next biggest game? You think it would be next year? Or you think it would be like the year before it releases? Because I wouldn't expect it to release probably until 2023 at the earliest.
Yeah, in which case I would say 2021 they may announce or show like some cinematics, and then
Okay.
2022 is when they start. Throughout that, they'll start showing a lot of the good stuff. So end of
Okay.
2022, start 2023, because Monster Hunter World was a January release, I believe.
It was like, yeah, it was like early February, I think. It was like February 5th or 6th or something like that. Yeah.
Iceborne was a January one, so they'll release it like at the start of the chronological calendar rather than financial calendar.
Okay.
So that way they've got like a good. They'll give all the news like November, December, 2022 for early 2023 release. I reckon. Um, that's what makes sense to me. But Capcom, they could be doing it. Who knows what they're going to do? Like the IPs they've got, they could do so many things. Like
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty confident that by 2023 we'll probably have Street Fighter 6, hopefully. Potentially another Devil May Cry. What I really want, really want, and I don't know if we're going to get it at the Tokyo Game Show. I want Asura's Wrath on like PS4/PS5, because
Okay.
that was like one of my favorite PS3 games. I think it needs a re-release. You don't even need to touch up the graphics. Leave it as it is. Just
Just
give
leave it
me
as is.
leave it as it is. Make sure I've got the DLC with it as well, so I can do the crazy evil Ryu and Akuma endings. I'll be happy.
Uh,
I will literally throw money at them for that.
yeah, I feel like Capcom's really got like a few titles that I think people would just spend a buttload of money on, and they just haven't taken
Yeah.
advantage of it yet. Like Asura's Wrath is probably a big one. I know Dragon's Dogma, every year like everybody wants a new Dragon's Dogma. So I know a lot of people are hoping that TGS is going to end up showing something on that. Especially with the anime that was announced. That's coming out I think in like 2 weeks or something on
Yo,
Netflix. Yeah.
what if they do? What if they do like a small Monster Hunter World film game tie-in?
That would be cool. That would actually be really cool. I do know that Capcom, I think it was a couple years back. I don't remember if it was announced with World or if it was like shortly after World was released or whatnot. But they had that animated show that they were talking about doing, which was Legends of the Guild, and then it just
Yeah,
died. Like we haven't heard anything from it since. So I'm kind of feeling like Capcom seems to have like a decent relationship with Netflix right now with the Castlevania anime being up there. You got the Dragon's Dogma anime coming out soon. I'm kind of feeling like that might be where Legends of the Guild will end up eventually being released is through
could be.
Netflix. So maybe they're just shopping around until they find somebody, but I don't know. I'm really interested to see like where that's going to go to because we haven't heard anything for 2 years. It just
Yeah.
flat out died. uh, Speaking of Monster Hunter World movie tie-ins, are you gonna go see that the Monster Hunter movie?
Oh, of course I am. I've got no shame. It's like I've got this soft spot for the Resident Evil movies because it's just popcorn fun. It's like
Oh yeah.
I don't take it seriously, and I think the same with like the new Resident Evil Netflix series. People are like making a big fuss that, oh, why don't they just stick to the games? It's like, why just treat it as its own universe. It doesn't have to be related to the games. It's not big. If they mess up what you want from the games, you're going to be more disappointed because it's like, oh, you deviated from the story. You didn't do this. You didn't do this. Right? I didn't want to see this. I wanted to see it like this. It's like, let it be. Enjoy it for what it is. The more content you get of your favorite brand or franchise, the better.
Right, yeah. Not to mention, whenever they do like direct translations from a game up to like a movie or show, it never seems to work anyway, right?
Right.
So I like it is better for them to just kind of like take elements and then run with it, but I don't know if I agree with the Monster Hunter movie being isekai like it is.
I mean, okay, this all I want to see from it, right, is Tony Jaa, Tiger Knee, a Rathian. That will just be like, we're done now. This needs an Oscar. We're good. It's like that Transformers film. I can't remember which one it was, but it was totally garbage. But the one thing that saved it was Optimus Prime riding a fire-breathing T-Rex wielding a sword. It's like,
yeah, I think that was 3. I think it was the third Transformers movie.
it was
I think
3
it
or
was
4.
yeah, it was like the ones without Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, and all I remember was like the film's trash, but you know what? This one scene, it saved it. It's, you know, I will always remember that being absolutely mad, crazy, but fun. Give me that with Monster Hunter. Like the movie, I have no doubt it's not going to be like a cinematic masterpiece, but as long as you give me crazy fun moments like Tony Jaa Tiger kneeing a Rathian in the face, I'm all for it.
Or him doing the Van Damme split on top of Diablos' head.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that image that they ended up putting out, where he was just kind of like standing up there with his sword? He was all like,
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
It's such a good image. Oh my gosh, that Diablos is huge though. He found the large gold crown is what he ended up doing.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
god, I was disappointed that the movie got pushed back, but then I started thinking about it, right? Because I really wanted to see Tenet, which I've been hearing has, it's a really good, really good movie apparently. So I was like, well, I really wanted to see Tenet. That just released, but I really don't want to go to the theaters right now. There's too much of too much of this whole COVID situation going on, and I don't know how it is over like where you are, but in my area, it's still pretty bad. Like here in stateside, numbers are still going up, cases are still coming out. So it's like I don't want to put myself in that position. So it's like I feel kind of better now that it was pushed back until next year.
Exactly. It's not great over here, but it sounds like it's a bit better than over in the States. But nonetheless, always suggest people stay safe. I mean, I was tempted to do this podcast like this.
Wear the mask.
Yeah, that way I can't give like virtual COVID via 5G or whatever crazy theories there are.
Virtual COVID by 5G. 5G towers causing COVID. You heard it here, folks.
I don't know, but like the temptation to do it like that. But stay safe, everyone, regardless.
Yeah. Make sure you're staying safe. Make sure you're washing your hands regularly, wearing your mask. So many people against the argument of masks. Guys, masks keep your germs from spreading, not other germs from spreading to you. It's about respecting other people, sort of deal. Make sure you wear your mask, please. Oh my gosh!
Please make sure it's like this, not like.
Oh yeah,
this.
So many people. I see so many people with their noses out. It's like you're not doing yourself any favors right now.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. What else can we go into? We've talked the movie. Which, honestly, back to the movie, I am excited for, because you are right. It is just basically going to be a dumb, turn your brain off flick, enjoy the movie sort of deal. I didn't play too much of the Resident Evil movies, but I did understand, or the games. I didn't play too much of the Resident Evil games, but I did understand enough to, like, know what the movies were getting wrong, sort of deal. But I think at the same time, I really did enjoy, like, the first 3 or 4 Resident Evil movies. I didn't enjoy the last couple as much. But the first 3 or 4, I definitely rewatched quite a bit.
I think with Monster Hunter, what it will have going for it is that it can play off the whole Western expectation of what a kaiju film is, because apparently it's going to be in the real world. So like seeing a Diablos stomp around New York or whatever, things like that, they can get like their giant monster fix that sort of way. It may not necessarily be the Monster Hunter that Monster Hunter fans want, but it's something that maybe opens up to a wider audience. So they're like, oh, I saw that film. Maybe I'll try out the game sort of thing.
And all of a sudden, the Monster Hunter sales skyrocket again.
Oh, yeah.
I'd actually be interested to see like what the correlation of the Resident Evil sales were in comparison to when those movies were coming out. Like, I'm wondering if that ended up bringing new fans over to the series or whatnot.
I think it sent more people to the movies than it did the other way, potentially, but who knows?
Fair enough. That's fair. But yeah. I think I definitely agree with what you're saying about the whole kaiju deal, because I think a lot of people over here, our biggest exposure, at least out in the West, to kaiju outside of Japan is like what, Godzilla? And I guess recently it's just been like the newer Godzilla movies that I think a lot more people have become familiar with.
I think what has helped the kaiju experience was actually Pacific Rim, especially the first one, that exposed people to what 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 people who like kaiju like about it. So it's just like, okay, this is more like
Badass fights, just
yeah,
badass
exactly.
fights between giant robots and monsters.
You don't care about the human character. They're just there to set up that fight. So.
Right, exactly. I don't know. I think that was one of my biggest gripes with some of the reviews about the newer Godzilla movies. There's like, where's the people element? It's like, I don't care. I just want to watch Godzilla fight.
Exactly. It's like, look, the humans are telling you that's where Godzilla is. Let's just go to it so we can watch it.
Yeah.
Done.
Though I will say there were some pretty badass scenes between the Monarch organization when they were like charging into the fights with Godzilla. Especially in the second movie where they had their big plane and you just see that thing fly in and just gunshots at Ghidorah and everything. It's so cool.
So good.
The visuals in those movies are really good.
Yeah, they did a good job. I really enjoyed it.
I did too. And the Kong movie wasn't too bad, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of Kong, but I can't wait for the Godzilla versus King Kong movie to come out.
Exactly. I think that's what we all were waiting for.
Yeah. And like Mothra. Let's give Mothra a movie because that'd be fun.
Definitely. There's enough family.
Oh, easily. Yeah, very easily. Especially with people who know like the backstory for Mothra and the stuff coming out of Japan and things like that. It's definitely got a fan base there.
I don't know about you, but when King of the Monsters was out and you saw Mothra come out the waterfall and you hear the Mothra theme, like the original Japanese one, I was
so
like,
good.
oh my god, they're actually doing it. It's the actual Mothra theme. And I was like,
yeah, we went to the theaters and we saw it in IMAX, and the IMAX has got like that big bassy, surround system on it. So we're just sitting here watching them like, oh, this is incredible. We actually went back and watched it again later that week because we're just like, we got to see it again.
Worth it. 100% worth.
Easily worth it. Yeah, it was such a good experience. We bought them both and we watch them quite a bit. They're so good. They're really good movies. If you guys haven't watched any of the new Godzilla movies or the King Kong movies, because it's all in the same universe. I think it's like the 2016 2017 King Kong, I think, is the one that's in this universe. Watch them because they're really good. They're worth it. 100% worth it. Let's get back on that topic of that good old Monster Hunter. That good old Monster Hunter experience right there. So do you own a Switch at all?
I do own a Switch.
Have you...
I didn't pick up Generations Ultimate. Is Generations Ultimate, is it?
It is Generations Ultimate, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't pick it up mostly because, from what I gathered, it was very much the old style of Monster Hunter where you go into the zone, it loads up, you load up like that. And like I said, my experience playing the PSP one, it wasn't for me. And I think I just got so ingrained with the world and how it worked, the mechanics of it. It's like I couldn't go backwards, so to speak, to play it. But I do understand the appeal. I do agree that it's one of those things where a portable version is a lot of fun, especially when you're traveling. You can do like your grindy stuff if you're on like a 2-hour train journey or like you're on a flight. It's like, okay, I'm going to be landing in Paris in like 2 hours. I need to, what I'll do is I'll just grind out this for that 2 hours, just to help pass the time sort of thing. Pass like, when you get to the end game sort of side of it. Because that's where lots of the fun is in Monster Hunter, the end game stuff.
Yeah, very, very much so. And yeah, I think Generations. So I really like Generations and Generations Ultimate. It is very much in old style. It is basically you just playing the old style Monster Hunters. So I can definitely understand, because even I get mixed up jumping from World Iceborne back down into Jinyu, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can't do the things with the hunting horn that I could do in the newer games. Like I can't dodge backwards. I can't like cancel dodge a lot of my attacks and stuff like that. It's like, this is gonna suck.
I don't know how I'll be able to survive without the clutch claw anymore, because I love the clutch claw.
I really feel that they're going to keep that in the future games. But I think they're going to drastically change it from what it is now, because it's kind of like that with mounting. Mounting didn't used to be a thing until I think 4 Ultimate. So I think mounting was a thing then. And it was one of those things that when you mounted the monster, you couldn't attack the monster because you could end up knocking the person mounting off of the monster.
Okay.
And then I think that slowly changed to where it's like now if you mount the monster, you can just beat the hell out of the monster while, the person mounting the monster isn't being affected by it. So I do feel like that system is going to stay in some aspect, but I don't think it's going to be the way it is now.
I think Clutch Claw might become its own weapon style. Like
I
literally,
didn't even, yeah.
your play style is clutch on, do damage, clutch on, do damage, that sort of thing.
I
I
didn't
think
even
that would be
consider
quite
that.
interesting.
Yeah, that would be really cool. It could be like a almost like a maybe a sword and shield combo, or maybe you get like a clutch call and a some sort of pole arm or something like that, right?
How about just make it like sort of like a monk slash fusion style, so it's just bare
Oh,
knuckles and
just
like
the
the clutch
fist.
claws where you jump on and you just go in pounding.
Oh my god, I know so many people who want just like pure fist weapons. I think that
I
that
would
would
love that. I
that
would
would
love that.
convert so
And
many
then,
people.
make the clutch claw its own weapon, its own unique playstyle. Like the insect glaive, it's so unique compared to everything
Mhm.
else. Nothing else plays like it. Um, why not make the clutch claw its own thing? Make it give it something unique in that regard. That it's the one that can clutch. It's the one that can like break the parts a lot easier, or give it the weak zones and stuff a lot easier.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
I really like that idea actually. I'm for that. Capcom, we're giving you so many good ideas right now. No, I do. I really like that. I do know I would definitely play some fist weapons if they added fist weapons to the game. I think they actually might have had fist weapons in Frontier or Monster Hunter Online, like one of the ones that was only available out east.
Could
Um
be. I know, like I tried playing Dauntless a little bit because it gave me it sort of like scratched that Monster Hunter itch that I had for a
right.
little bit between I think it was like just between content and stuff, and like the weapon I was instantly drawn to was the fists, like the giant punching fists that you have in that game. Just because it's so different from everything else, it's like there's something satisfying about an actual melee attack to take down
Right.
something so big. And like like the way I see it, there's so many ways you can go about it, and like you have crossovers, like you can have your Street Fighter crossovers, so like you
Hmm.
literally have like Akuma or Ryu fists and stuff. You have an Asura's Wrath on where you get like 6 arms going in as an attack or something. I don't know, but yeah, like a pure fist melee weapon, like which the clutch claw could be. Like it literally pull yourself in and just pummel in.
Just go
Why
right
not?
at it. Yeah. I do like that idea. That is actually a really good idea. But I guess speaking of Dauntless, because I
Mhm.
play Dauntless too. I don't play it nearly as much now since Monster Hunter has come out. Because I think they released it like right around the time. It was
Yeah.
definitely out before the PC version of Monster Hunter was out. That I do remember. I don't remember like the exact time frame.
Mhm.
But like it's definitely I definitely feel like it's a more free to play watered down Monster Hunter compared to like what Monster Hunter is. But
Yeah.
like what's some of your experiences in that? Because I think mine it was good for a bit, but it wasn't something that I like stuck around with it. I'm curious if like
Yeah.
yours is this similar.
So, so I liked the battle pass in it. It gave me more incentive to keep playing.
Hmm.
But the big problem I had with it was the lack of depth because it's very much uh, use this against this monster,
Hmm.
or this element against this, and use this element against this. There's the opportunity to mix set, for example, was very little.
Hmm.
Um, Also, like the depth of it in terms of like stats and spreading your abilities and or like or adjusting your abilities was very limited. For example, like the gem system in Monster Hunter is something that I really love. Just the fact that okay, do I want my attack +4 here, or do I want uh, my mushroom answer in here to like get the bonuses on because I'm going into the ancient forest, for example, things like that. That sort of ability to adjust it to suit what I want in my playstyle. Because like what I'd do for a group hunt would be very different from if I'm going solo, for example.
Right.
I would have like, if I'm going solo or guiding lights, I'll have that fortify on just so I can get the bonus if I'm going to cart a lot. But if I'm in a group, I may have, I'll take in, um, the heal station rather than say taking a different cloak, for example.
Right. Right. Right.
Things like
Yeah.
that. That is that sort of customization level and adjustment to suit my playstyle. Dauntless didn't have, which turned me off the game more.
I think that's fair, and I'm pretty sure that's probably like one of the reasons why I stopped playing it too. Like I jump back in periodically, especially
It's
when they
not,
added in the revolvers as weapons because I thought that was really
yeah,
cool.
that was
But
good. Like it's not that Dauntless is a bad game. I think it's a good game, but I think the best way to look at it is, I feel, is like it's the gateway game to Monster Hunter series, as opposed to, because it's harder to go from Monster Hunter World to what I see down to Dauntless, because Dauntless is
mhm,
a lot simpler. But it's easy to go from Dauntless up to Monster Hunter World. It's like taking that
yeah,
next step up. Um, but yeah, like the one thing I really liked in Dauntless was that giant lava monkey thing that you have to fight. That was like such a good fight. Such a good fight.
I did like some of their monster designs. I just wish they would have
Yeah.
done a little bit more with them.
Yeah. Most of them, despite their design changes, played exactly the same. You just use the same
Hmm.
tactics on them over and over.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know.
shame.
Maybe I'll go back to it in the future. Maybe we'll all end up going back to it in the future when
It's
maybe some
while
things change, add some more depth
we,
to it or something.
it's while we wait for the next Monster Hunter fix. Like, okay, we'll just keep on this in the meantime.
If the Switch game doesn't prove to be good, we'll all be on Dauntless.
So I got a question for you, Mr. Shadowmains.
Hit me with it. Let's do it.
What is your favorite monster hunt or monster to fight in Monster Hunter World? What was that one that we go? This is it. This is my favorite.
So, my absolute favorite fight, and it's one of those monsters that I just always took pleasure in doing, was Nergiganti and Ruiner Nergiganti.
Okay.
I absolutely love fighting him. And I think a lot of it was just because he really doesn't work with my weapon type because, as you know, I'm a hunting horn main. And he's kind of a jumpy monster where he goes from like point A to point B and back and forth and stuff like that. Odegaard's one of those. Rajang's another monster that's like that. But with Nergiganti, I don't know. Like, I don't like fighting Rajang, and I've said this time and time again. I hate fighting Rajang. The
I don't
Furious
like it.
Rajang event quest that they put out over this past weekend, I did it once. Well, we beat it once. It took us 3 hours to beat it. We beat it once, and then I'm never going back to it because I don't like fighting Rajang. It's like I
That's fair.
experienced it. I did my video. It's out. Never doing it again. It'll be gone. I'll be fine.
That's fair.
But with Nergiganti, I just feel like I feel like he's a fair enough challenge that nothing on him feels like it's just like a total BS move, right? Like I feel like all of his moves have a purpose. I feel like they're telegraphed enough that I can see him do this. I can get out of the way or make my move or do some sort of counter or anything like that. So all around, it's just Nergi is just a really enjoyable fight for me.
That's cool.
Yeah. What about you? What's your favorite fight?
So I have three.
Okay.
Three
Oh,
fights.
okay.
So at number 3 is Nergigante, just because the insanity of it.
Mhm.
It's just absolutely crazy, and he actually feels like a boss character. Like, that is final boss level
Right.
fight, and it's satisfying, even more so than whatchamacallit, the blue thing that was at the end of
Oh, Xeno?
World.
Xeno'jiva?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was it. Xeno. It was more satisfying than fighting Xeno, and even Sharo Shvale was more fun. I thought. Yeah, I literally felt like, okay, Nergi's a true boss. Number 2, Azure Rathalos. I
Okay.
absolutely like Rathian and Rathalos are my favorite creatures in Monster Hunter, like World and Iceborne. Like, I
Mhm.
love the design of them. I love the fights. And it's just so satisfying going up against it and taking it down. It's just like, I've actually beaten a big dragon. This feels good. But my favorite fight still is the Behemoth fight.
Oh,
on the
okay.
Final Fantasy crossover. That was wild. It was unlike any other. It was just satisfying. It felt different. It felt uh, a lot more strategic,
Mhm.
and I loved everything about it, including and like that was the first time the whole meteor sort of mechanic
Oh
was there.
yeah, yeah, where you had to like get behind the rocks and kind of
Yeah,
hide from it and everything. Yeah,
and it
I think
worked
that.
really well. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It's still my favorite fight, and the armor and the weapons that you get from it look
Oh
so good.
yes,
So,
yeah, they did really well with that. The Final Fantasy armored weapon that came in with that.
yeah, so
I do really like
that
that
is my
fight.
number one fight.
Okay, so we know Behemoth is your favorite fight, and I really like that one. I actually did enjoy Extreme Behemoth, even though I know a lot of people hated fighting that
Oh
monster.
yeah,
Um, but what would you say is your least favorite fight?
least favorite fight. So it's a toss up between the Rajangs and the Legianas. I don't know why, but I just cannot land a hit on a Legiana ever, ever. I'm just like, God damn it, just stay still. And by the time I run up to it, it's flown
It's
over to the
gone.
other
Yeah,
side.
it's in the
Ah,
air.
I hate
Oh.
Legiana.
There was never like I love Legiana's roar, but I do agree there's never a more satisfying thing than when you could flash spam Legiana and keep it on the ground because it
Yeah,
just flies around so much.
because flash pods are like absolutely useless pretty much in Iceborne, but it's like,
Yeah, yeah. You get it. It went back to I think I don't remember if it was like this in the old ones. I haven't used Flash a ton, but it definitely is more. It's more limited now, which is a bummer because Flash spamming Rathlos was a thing I liked doing too.
yeah. Rajang, Rajang is Rajang. It's just like I've never played a Monster Hunter World game or Monster Hunter game before this. So like the concept of when I can attack him, how I can attack him, and the fact that I can't clutch claw,
Mhm.
it really frustrates me. Like clutch claw is like one of my big get in tools, especially as a longsword user.
Mhm.
I'll clutch claw in. That way I'm in there and then I can start doing my stuff. But with Rajang, it's like no, EI slash is borderline useless against it. Foresight slash is so hard to get on him just because he's too fast compared to like the normal
Yeah,
timing of everything else. So yeah, those two are a
he
pain.
he's definitely. I feel like he's definitely comparing him to the older Rajings. I feel like this one's definitely a little bit harder. They've always been like super nimble and always jumpy, but this one is just they
Another
turned
level.
that dial up to a freaking 12 and just let it go.
Yeah. I mean, because of those two, I start like if you look at my hours used on like weapons in the game, I've got like couple of hours, like about 6 hours on hammer, couple of hours like trying to learn charge blade,
Mhm.
uh, about 140 hours on longsword. But now creeping up there is my light bowgun stats because I just went, you know what, I'm just going to stand back and shoot these guys
Just
because
hit him,
I
yeah.
can't get.
I've been having like when I was doing the thing on Friday with the tempered furious Rajang, by the way, which is
Oh
never
god.
again. Never again. People were like, "Yeah, just use light bowgun. It's so much easier." It's like, but I'm a hunting horn user, and I
I
hate the
know.
bowguns.
I know how you feel. Is unfortunately I caved and I went down that route, and it's just like I feel guilty for
uh,
doing it, but it had to be done. I think I only started using the bowgun when it was when I got like the good water bowgun from the Safi Jiva, I want to say.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, the Safi's water gun. It's so good, and like along with like the Safi set, the mixed Safi set, it just really helped. Like, but that's one thing I would like to see more mechanics like the Safi armor and the Safi weapons
Hmm.
where you can attach different skills to it. That'll be really good.
I did really like that. I thought that was really cool. I don't mind fighting Safi. I actually do enjoy the Safi fight quite a bit.
Yeah,
So like the way that it was set up, I think Safi's RNG was set up a lot better than what Kolf Taras was. So
the cold fights were just very frustrating. I found in general. But the Safi fights were fun, and like you said, the RNG was better. Plus, like
yeah.
the re-rolling with like all the orbs that you can pick up and
Mm-hmm.
transform into orbs. It was it didn't feel like your run was in vain because no matter what you got, you could always get something out of it. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and even if you didn't kill it, you still got something out of it too. You just missed out on some parts that you might need for sets and weapons and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, no, that's I don't know. I really like Safi. I like the music. So I think that's one of the
Oh
things
yeah.
that I think Iceborne and World have done well is it's just that epic sounding songs, especially with Safi Jiva's music. And I don't know if you heard the new Fatalis theme in the trailer, but the new Fatalis theme just sounds amazing.
Yeah, I want a moment in the Fatalis fight, like in the Safi fight, when Safi does the drop move and
Oh,
it
where it
just
comes
goes
down.
silent.
Yeah.
I just want like
Uh
when it went silent, and then I was like, oh, this is so
when it
hype.
yeah, when the music cut out, I was like, "Oh,
What's
oh,
going
this is
on?
amazing. This is incredible. We're all going to die."
Yeah, it's so good. I think they need a moment like that in the Fatalis fight as well. But I
I
like that.
I
Mhm.
I'm sorry, what's up?
Yeah, I was gonna say I like that the Fatalis fight is taking place in the arena that the Velcana fight was in. So that's quite a nice little touch
Oh,
too.
that's the event quest that'll be taking place in
Event
that.
quest.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they announced 3 event quests where we'll be fighting a tempered, I think it's a Kushala, Lunastra, and Teostra. That'll be
Okay.
starting Friday, so September 11th is when that'll start. And that takes place in the supply cache area, which I'm happy they brought that map back because we did it once in the
That's
story
good.
and never saw it again. And I was
Yeah,
like,
because
this is
it's a
like the
nice arena.
coolest. Yeah, this is like the coolest arena you guys made, and we don't even see it anymore
You
after
only see
this.
it
Like,
once.
yeah, like bring it back. But
Just
the
covered with
Fatalis
like that
fight.
arena.
Oh my god, Teostra is gonna be so tough in there, but I can't wait for it.
Me too.
Lunastra is probably gonna be even tougher in there. Actually, thinking about it.
Look at it this way. At least you don't have to deal with Teostra and Lunastra in that area doing their big swirly double explosion.
Both tempered. Yeah, both of them tempered. Both of them
Ooh,
just nonstop.
the fear is real.
But yeah, no, the Fatalis fight is going to take place in Castle Shrade, which is an old world location. So we're actually
Mhm.
going back to the one of the locations that's in the other Monster Hunter games, like 1 through 4. So this is super old world. I think it was there in the first game. The
Mhm.
Fatalis was an online only battle then, so I'm glad it's not here.
So there's a lot of lore behind it as well. Then.
Oh, there's a ton of lore behind it. Yeah, there is a lot. I know Gaijin Hunter has put out a video on it. I believe Eric's has put out a Fatalis video as well. I don't know if you guys follow Band Legiacrus on Twitter at all, but they put out quite a bit of lore stuff. So there's a ton of lore back in the location.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely look into it if you are interested in it because it's definitely it's 100% worth it. But
Okay.
yeah, I can't wait for the fight. I'm so excited for it. I just want the music. I want to meet the general because the general looks really cool.
Yeah,
Trying to
that's
speculate who the
definitely.
voice actor is.
They definitely based it off socks. It's like, come on, guys, you're so
Uh,
obvious about it now.
so many people said that. I know Faceman said that when I was watching. I was like, "Who is this?" And they're like, "That sucks." And I was like, "It probably is because he's tall, super tall."
It's definitely a shout. Something. Like, come on, guys, come on. No. You don't have to lie about it.
But I can't wait. I can't wait for that. I know a lot of people are excited for it. I'm pretty excited for it as well.
Mhm.
Uh, but I think we're coming up onto about the end of the time for this. I think I don't really have any like any other questions or any ways we can take this conversation. You got any like anything you want to talk about for the last couple
I
minutes or
think
so?
I think we covered lots of stuff there. It's been a lot of fun, like especially speaking about Monster Hunter, because like I'm pretty much the definition of newbie to the franchise series, but love it regardless. Like as much as I love the stats and stuff about it, at the end of the day, I just go in wearing what I like and trying to look badass when I fight monsters, sort of thing. So I'm in it to have fun, but I'm not there to like ruin other people's game, so to speak, when
Right.
I'm like, jumping in. So, but yeah, it's nice to get a different like bounce off ideas of the perspective of someone who's been in the series for a long time. So yeah, Thank you for having me, despite my
Yeah, of course.
severe lack of knowledge on the series.
No, it's okay. There's still a lot that I'm learning. Like when people just drop knowledge, I'm looking at like that doesn't seem right, and then I look it up and go, oh, okay, okay, we're learning today. All right.
All right.
Uh, well, let's end it like this. Okay, 2 years of Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Out of this time, what would you say is your best memory with the game?
Whoa.
we hitting with a heavy hitter right here at the very end.
Yeah. So I think one of my best memories for me personally um was the fact that I was trying to do Safi with like random people, and it just didn't happen. And then one day I was like, I'm just going to give it a go, and I managed to solo it myself, and it was very satisfying. Another one was the amount of carries I got from that bot Sean's, who literally took me through so many to get so many parts I need. So like, shout out to Sean's, thank you so much for all your help there. But the other big thing that I love about Monster Hunter in the couple of years is that I found like the Alex gaming community in like 26 Paradise and Best streams. And I didn't even realize they were associated with Alex gaming, because I used to watch a lot of Alex's videos on YouTube, especially related to The Division, because I was big into that. When I started getting into Monster Hunter, I started watching like some of his videos, and I never stayed till the end. I just watched the video, goes, "Thank you for watching." I'm like, off. And then while I was at work, yeah, sorry, Alex, but while I was at work, I was like, I was looking for like Twitch channels like to watch like some Monster Hunter stuff in the background, just to see what to do against new monsters, and I found 26's channel, and I stayed, and it was just like, oh, you guys know that? Oh, wow, what a coincidence. So, that was quite nice. And, finding people and a community to hang out with, it's fantastic. And it's not just them, there's loads of other communities out there that are well worth it. Like the TDS guys, great to watch and play with. Triceps, when he decides to play. What's her name? Oh, I can't remember. Vampy, that's it. She's fantastic.
Yeah, Vampy, yeah.
So, lots of other streamers and communities I found via Monster Hunter. People just hang and chill and chat. Like you, for example. It's been a pleasure, like meeting like you, for example, as well as many others. So, yeah, that's the best thing. Like the people I've met through this.
I think I'm in much of the same agreement. Like before this, when I played Monster Hunter, it was kind of like I would play it, or me and my brother would have it, and we'd kind of play it every now and then. But I didn't know anybody else who had, the Monster Hunter games who played it, or at least they weren't telling me that they had this, and I never really brought it up because it wasn't a popular game at the time. Like when I was playing this, it was Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo. Those are like the big games over here and in my friend groups and stuff like that. But then when World came out, I was like, all right, well, I'm definitely gonna play this. And then I ended up finding, because I'd never watched, at least I don't recall watching any Eric's gaming videos before this. So I ended up finding 26 Eric's and all of them through the official Monster Hunter Twitch channel. And I was like, okay, these guys seem cool. Let me just check out their Twitches, because I'm working, I'm sitting at a desk, I'm not really doing anything. So I was like, let me check out their stuff, and we'll see where it goes from here. And then I just started watching, 26 and Paradise and Eric's and all of them, and it just kept going. Like, I mean, I met a bunch of great people. Like, met Sean's Face Man, everybody in the Twitch. I check out Triceps, like you said as well. It's been fantastic. Just like meeting people on this ride. Like, I got to meet both Herney and TDS this year up in like not TDS, TDS Chris. Sorry. So I got to meet Chris Darkside up at Boston at the Monster Hunter Festa, and I ended up going up there with one of my own community members, because we were just going to go and do the speedrunning event that was there and then have a good time. So I mean, it's been nothing but a positive experience for me as well, and I'm glad to hear that like more people are, it's the same thing for them too. Just nothing but a positive experience.
Yeah, I it's why I hate like trying to shout at people that I've met through this, because there's just so many who are just so welcoming and nice, and help me out like in terms of, like knowledge or like carries and like advice, everything, or just hanging out. There's just too many people to mention, so it's like
Yeah.
hate it. But I love the fact that there is so many. I love it.
I do too. But yeah, I don't know. I can't wait for more of this. I really can't wait for more of this. I'm so excited to just hang out with more people and meet more people and everything. Keep it going. One of these days, I'll make it out to Japan.
That's what part of this podcast is for, right? Introduce people to like the community and the people, and see what people are saying, I guess. About
exactly. Yeah, I was just like, I got this channel. I don't know what to do with it. I'm going to start a podcast. Isn't that what everybody does nowadays? Just going to start a podcast.
Why not? It's good. It works. It works.
It's fun. It's I feel like it's a little bit more personal, so I definitely enjoy it. But yeah, with that, guys, we are at the end of the podcast. Again, joined by the lovely Gehan from Ubisoft UK. Is that the Ubisoft UK? All right, coming at us from Ubisoft UK, community manager for Steep, Brawlhalla, and To Be Determined. Cannot share with us yet, but make sure you guys go give him a follow on Twitter. Make sure you keep up with him. You still stream periodically, right?
Yeah, I still stream periodically. Last thing I was streaming was some Ghost of Tsushima and Avengers.
Good game.
I'll probably get back on some Monster Hunter World at some point. It's just whatever picks my fancy. I haven't got a set schedule yet, but maybe one day.
Yeah. So make sure you guys give him a nice little follow over on Twitch as well. But Gehan, this has been fun. Thank you.
I've got those as well.
Oh, yeah. Do it. Cooking streams. Gehan, teach us how to cook.
Let's go.
Proper seasoning, please.
Always.
But yeah, this has been fun, Gehan. Thank you for joining us today, guys. Make sure follow him, like him, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this video and leave comments down below. Let's hear some of your questions to this. Like, what's your favorite memories from the past couple of years of Monster Hunter? Your favorite Monster Hunter games? Your favorite fights? If you like Gehan's fist weapon ideas, support that so we can talk Capcom into doing it. But anyway, guys, this has been fun. This has been the Hunters Roundtable. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye! I got an idea. Set him up on the edge. Oh boy, do I have an idea. Yes! From the top rope! From the top rope!